Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you my 2022 Bookish goals. Alright, so 2022 is upon us, and with that means another set of annual goals. I'm excited. I put some thought into my goals this year, and I wanted to make these goals achievable, yet something that I had to work towards, not just something that was super easily attainable. So yeah, I'm happy with the list that I came up with. I have 10 goals to share with you today, and yeah, let's just get into it. One caveat here is that I do not put on my goals list my Goodreads like number of books to be read. I don't see the value in that. I make a goal in Goodreads of 100 books, and I just set it at that just so that I can kind of get the stats and stuff along with it at the end of the year and the recap and all of that. But I just don't see the benefit of trying to read a certain amount of books. If I read way less than I do, then possibly, but I read so much that that to me does not matter. So that will not be on this list. However, I do have 10 other goals on this list, and let's get into it. So the last 2 years, I have reread different series, and that was kind of one of my goals. Last year, or this year, I did the Lunar Chronicles. The previous year, I did Harry Potter, and so I really have been enjoying rereading through some series that I really enjoyed in years past. And so this year, I'm going to be rereading The Hunger Games. I have never reread The Hunger Games. I read them initially when they had recently come out. I've seen all the movies multiple times. I have never reread them. This is the year that I'm going to be rereading The Hunger Games. So that is my first goal. My second goal is to start a new series, and the series that I picked this year that I would like to start is Keeper of the Lost Cities. This is a middle grade fantasy series. This one is actually not that thick for, I guess, what some of the other books are super thick. But I've heard amazing things about these books. These are ones that I cannot get on audio. They're Audible exclusives, and so I can't get them on audio, and so that's one of the reasons why I haven't picked it up yet. But I do want to start it, and so I don't know how many books I want to read this year. I didn't want to push myself to read all 8 or 9 or however many there are of them, but I do want to at least start it, and if I want to continue with it, keep going with it. So that will be my second goal. My third goal is to read 2 books from our Advent gift exchange that I did with my friends each month. So this past year, I joined Krista from Books and Jams, Sarah's Nightstand, and Lindsay's Little Library in their Advent Christmas gift exchange, book gift exchange. And so I received from them 24 books. And so I do not want that group of books to just keep going unattended, and so I would like to read the books that they gifted me throughout the year. Well, I received 24 books, and so in order to do that, guys, my hair, oh yikes. All right, in order to do that, I need to read 2 books a month. I will pick which books each month I want to read. I'm not going to do like a TBR jar or anything like that. I am going to, at the beginning of the month when I'm doing my TBR, I'm going to pick what I'm in the mood for, and those are the books that I'm gonna go with. But I do want to get them all read this year. That's a stretch goal for me, guys. That's going to be a pushing it goal. So we shall see how that goes. Another goal that I have, it has to do with Netgalley and review books. So this goal is that I would like to get and keep my Netgalley percentage above 50%. Currently it's at 43%. If you're unfamiliar with Netgalley, Netgalley is a website where anybody can create an account and request e-arcs from publishers. I have quite the backlist. It's not as bad as some people's, let's get real here, because I just started using Netgalley this past year. But I am currently at a 43% feedback rate or ratio, I think is what they call it. And I would like to have that at 50% or higher throughout this year. I would also try to stay on top of, if publishers send me books, reading them and getting reviews up right away. I kind of have a little bit of a not that many. It's like 3 or 4 books that publishers have sent me that I haven't read yet. And so I would like to get those read and then stay on top of books that are physical books that are being sent to me, reading them as they get sent to me. So, like I said, that's a bit of a stretch goal, but that's the goal. The next goal that I have is to read off my shelves. This was a goal a couple of years ago, I think, and I didn't do the best at it. It's fine. I love my library. I will continue to use my library, but I have got a bit of a book buying problem, as I'm sure many of us do. And I just got new bookshelves so that I could have more books, and I'm already double stacking books on my new bookshelves. I wanted bigger bookshelves so that I could display books more and have more space to put little trinkets and things, and now most of them are like crammed to capacity. You can see back here, they're just, it's not good. So I would like to do 80% of my reading off my shelves each month. So I'm really going to try to stick to that. And as I'm pulling things that I know I own, and not just getting stuff from the library. So we'll see, but that's another one of my goals that I have. In order to do that, I would like to once again participate in Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day. She does a Read Your Bookshelf challenge that I did this past year. Really enjoyed it, but each month she has a prompt and you read a book off of your shelves to fill that prompt. And so that will help me towards reading off my shelves more. But yeah, I would like to complete her Read Your Bookshelf challenge. I will link her challenge. It's part of, I think she has a blog that has it on it, but it's part of her Hey Reader book prompt generator website that she has. It's on there. And so yeah, I will link that down below, whatever information I can find. All right. Another goal that I have is to read 5 tomes. For me, a tome is anything over 500 pages. So I think this last year I read like 8, which is great. But I tend to not read super long books. I don't like picking up thick books. And so that is kind of a push for me to really invest in some longer books. And so, yeah, I would like to at least read 5. If I can read more, great, but at least 5. In addition, I would also like to read a minimum of 20 nonfiction books. I have not done my final calculations on how many I read this year, but I feel like 20 is a good number. I go through phases where I love reading lots of nonfiction and then I'm like, nah, about it. And then I read a ton and then I back off of it. And so it's kind of sporadic throughout the year, but I do really enjoy nonfiction, and so that kind of gives me that push to make that a nice chunk of my reading. And then my next goal has to do with that book buying problem that I was talking about. I would like to buy intentionally. So I'm not putting myself on a book buying ban because I love buying books, and like, why would I torture myself like that? No, thank you. But I would like to be more intentional about the books that I purchase. So what that means is when I'm going to the thrift store or I'm browsing Book Outlet or I'm going to the library book sales, I'm not just buying whatever is there that looks interesting, that I'm really being intentional about the books I'm buying. I'm buying books that I'm very interested in, that I had previously been interested in, or books that are super captivating to me and not just something that looks cute and is cheap, so let's get it. Because that tends to be kind of the way I buy things. So yeah, that is definitely a big goal for me. That's not really a measurable goal, but we'll see how I do at the end of the year. But that is something I would like to keep in mind as I'm going to these sales and going to the stores and things like that, is just be more intentional about the books that I'm bringing into my own home. And then my last goal doesn't have to do with reading, but it is book related in a sort, and that is to get my bookmark shop opened up on Etsy, which is really intimidating for me for some reason. I don't know, guys, it just is. But a lot of you know that I make bookmarks out of VHS tape sleeves. So some of the ones I've made, I do double-sided, so I take the spine and that's the base, and then on the back I do like a collage of the rest of the cover. So they're all a little bit different, they're all handmade. And so I did a little bit of a bookmark sale on my Instagram account last month, the month before, I don't even remember now. But I have been saying for a while that I'm going to be opening up an Etsy shop, and I need to do it. I need to make the bookmarks. I have a bunch. I have a huge selection of sleeves now to work with, but I need to invest the time into making them and then get the courage to actually open up the shop. So opening up the shop is my last goal, which is, like I said, just very intimidating, but I can do it. So those are my 10 bookish goals for 2022. Do you make reading or bookish goals each year? If so, let me know what some of your goals are. If you have a booktube channel and you have made a video about your goals, go ahead and share that link down below. I would love to check it out. I love watching everybody's like bookish goals and annual TBRs and annual. I love all the end of year, beginning of the year videos are probably my absolute favorite. So definitely link that down below. And that's gonna do it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.